What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. This is GMD Geek. I'm coming to you to do a short little tutorial session for some Discord user advice across the course of several of the Discord channels. I get them on a regular basis, most recently from my Sashan community as they're getting into more active usage of the primary and the clan Discords. They're two separate ones. I do get quite a few questions from them and from the members that coming from console and aren't so used to using Discord on a regular basis, and even some from the PC community wanting to know how to better configure it, better use it. A little bit of background on that from me. I got into computers back in high school in 1992, my sophomore year. I got my hands on a 286 and then a 386 and a Packard Bell and a Tandy and a Mac back then, which was more like, I think we had one a couple years ago. We broke it when a hailstorm came through, but I had turned an old original Mac, into a fish tank for beta. But I digress. From there, I did networking out of high school, network interfaces and CCNA and CCNP stuff. And then the last 17 years, I've been a cybersecurity practitioner and architect. So I get asked quite a bit. I do, in addition to the two Mesa Discords, I have a couple of my own. The one you're looking at right now is like my newsfeed RS kind of learning thing. I jot stuff down, share it, all that stuff for cybersecurity with other professionals. And then I also admin approximately 14 other Discords. The three biggest ones have over 10,000 active users on each one. So it gets a little time consuming. We get a lot of that. I'm specifically asked to look at some of the security settings and how they can make better Discords. So that being said, I'm going to try and come in here, do some quick high level stuff to help people get the best security out of their box. One of the things you have to keep in mind for applications such as Discord or any of those other online tools or SaaSes that they have out there, you need to keep in mind that they have a delicate balance that they have to maintain. They want to keep the user experience good and solid and fluent and provide those services that users are after, and then provide security. So a lot of times there's help sections and tutorials and forums and everything, but out of the box they can only turn so much on because they want the users to be able to use the product. And a couple places, a couple different programs out there, they tried to just, hey, let's turn security on first and then the user can go from there. And it didn't go over so well. So they have to be able to balance that. So Discord's done a fairly decent job of giving security out of the box. And they can make it a little bit better, but you as the user are empowered to do so. And now, as I've said before, I do have streamer in mode enabled, which protects the streamers like myself and other people, that if they go into their settings, it doesn't let people see what is sensitive, such as user information, account billing information, all that other stuff. So I have a couple screenshots that I'm gonna scroll through and use to help navigate it. If you have some more questions about it, feel free to DM me. Unless you're really advanced user, you're typically not going to have a different layout from this. There's a couple ways to do it. That's a whole different video I'm not going to go into. But most of the users out here, you're going to go on to your user settings, which is going to be located in the bottom left-hand corner of the Discord app, or on the phone. I can bring it up real quick. Open up Discord. Get into one that there. Go to general. If you come in here, it's going to be in the left-hand corner. You go all the way down. Here's when you push those three buttons down in the bottom left. It's going to be a gearboxes. Okay, so what you're going to do is you will click on this, which will take you to my account. So I'm going to move this because I have to turn off streamer mode so you can see some of the things I'm talking about. But I do have a screenshot until I get moved, so I'm okay being able to show that stuff. But the first one, this is the landing page here that it takes you to, and this is called My Account. Okay, it has your username, it has your email address. This is what I don't want you guys to see. I don't want to get swarmed. Not that you guys would do that, but you know, you never know. This is me being safe. And again, if you're streaming, they automatically have streamer mode enabled to protect you. You have to go disable it, and I can show you where to do that in a minute. But what else is here on the My Account page is called the two-factor authentication. Okay, two-factor authentication means that in addition to having your username and your password, you have to have another token or another piece of information that randomizes itself in order to authenticate. This helps keep your account more secure from other users and other sources, so they can't, just because you clicked on something and they captured your password or managed to get a cookie or something while you're at Starbucks or something, that you do have that extra level of security. Is it 100%? Not always, no. Does it make it a lot more difficult for people to gain access to your account? Yes. Do I recommend turning on two-factor authentication? Yes. With this one, if you follow the click-ons here and you set up the two-factor authentication, they can use your cell phone or I believe the email or both. So if you're not getting text to your phone, you can send it to an email. It gives you a code, a one-time code that you put in to authorize the browser. In this case, I've authorized it here. And you can do it permanently, or you can just every single time, required every single time that you want to log in. That's really up to you. Most users are going to set up the two-factor and say, remember my device, because they're going to consider it safe. Now, I'm going to come back to the OBS. Wrong window, Jerry. I want to come back to the Discord window. Here we go. Now, I am under privacy and safety. Sorry about that. Here, I think it defaults to friends are nice, so it'll scan messages from everyone unless they're on your friend list. I prefer the security guy because I've been hosed before. I've seen other people get infected and everything. Forums are really the bad parts where people do a lot of link sharing. It doesn't happen so much here, but there have been other ones. So whenever you get a direct message or scan or something from somebody, it scans it and it has a little back-end hook. I believe these guys use VirusTotal. Don't quote me on that one. I do know they do quite a bit of scanning to look for malware and some other malicious content before delivering a message to keep you safe. So I recommend personal experience, putting on Keep Me Safe, just scan everything. It really doesn't put that much of a load on your box at all. It's all done behind the scenes, and it's just something that keeps you safer. Does it mean it's 100%? No. Do they maybe have a false positive where you might lose a message? Sometimes. But I much rather lean on safe than sorry. And so for that one, I have to recommend going with Keep Me Safe. I'm not going to go through the rest of the ones down here. You can see where I did turn off who can add me as a friend. I don't want everyone to be able to add me. If you want to add me as a friend, send me a message. Let's have a little dialogue. Let's develop a little bit of a relationship. Then we can add each other as a friend. That helps me take care of it. Server members, I do tend to have a lot of activity with them. Again, I have another account where I manage several other Discords. I do have the server one disabled. I want people to come to me, develop that relationship, and then we can talk about it. Like a couple of those ones where we have over 10,000 users on each one, we just haven't disabled across the board because that would be just way too many messages to try to carry. And so I don't do that. Authorized apps, you can come in here. You can tell which ones you like and which ones you don't like. This is more specific if you're running or adminning any Discords. This is where you would do that. And there's once in a while you have some that comes into your account, like the Patreon, the Logitech G, which is my mouse, and webcam, which we'll talk about in a minute. You can come in here. You can see the connections you've got. You can see I follow Alpha Gaming and another community guy, and I follow Mesa Army. I need to get Mesa on here. I don't know why his is not showing up. I don't think he was on in a while, but you can set everything up to if you want to link these. This is where you've seen it before. I said, hey, y'all, if you don't want to get kicked from Mesa Army, Mesa Sean's Discord, you got a link to his YouTube from those ones that I do manage there. I'm not going to beat around the bush on that. Billing, I'm not going to show you. That's all account stuff. If you do a Nitro subscription, which I do have with Discord, again, I do quite a bit with them. I recommend it. You can boost servers that you belong to. You get a couple of those. It just depends on if you want to show some hype and help drive traffic to them. Now we're going to get into the app settings. This is one of the areas I'm going to talk about. I am not going to show you this camera section here because I did that in a video previously, and what that did is caused my Sony Alpha 6000 to go black and white and did not recover until I restarted the Stream Elements application. So we're going to avoid that mistake this time. Something that we get asked quite a bit, we have to troubleshoot quite often is with users, with guys that jump in voice chat and everything, and they're texting, or they get a new headset and they're like, "Hey, it's not working. I don't understand. I can't hear anything, but we can hear him, or they can hear us, and they can't say anything." This is where you're going to control your input and your output device. Input device is going to be your microphone. Output device is going to be your chosen choice for what you want to listen. When I'm on Discord, I use an Astro A50 headset. Thanks to Mesa Sean for the great discount on it. If you guys are looking for a headset, this is not a sales pitch, but I used to have a Turtle Beach, and I can honestly say this Astro A50 is the bomb. It lets me use it on both PC or the Xbox, which is behind me. They make one for the PS4 as well, which is also behind me, but I use this on the Xbox, or the PC specifically, not the Xbox nor the PS4. I did get it to work, ironically, and I'll make a different video on that. I did get it to work with my son's Switch, which was really, really pretty cool. However, so when we get asked this, if you have a microphone and you put it on your computer and all of a sudden you're wanting to use it in Discord and you don't see it in this drop-down list by its name, you need to go to your OS and fix that. I'm not going to troubleshoot that here, but if it's not showing up by the proper name in here, then you haven't got it configured and installed correctly on your operating system, whether it be Linux, whether it be Windows, whether it be Mac, okay? It needs to be installed properly. It has to have the proper naming. It will do a default one here, which you can use whatever you've told your OS. Mine in this case is the Yeti, but I like to specify exactly what device is going to use what. That's more important in the streaming stuff, which I'll do a separate video on. But I choose to use my Yeti right here for everyone to hear me. Doesn't matter if I'm streaming. It doesn't matter if I'm talking. I like the Yeti. It's there for the sound quality. It's there for the gain quality, the cardio. It helps me control a whole lot of different things, like my kids. I have a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. They can be a little bit loud. I have a mechanical keyboard. It lets me control things like that, get away from that noise, and help remove that harsh element of just abrasive sounds. Then again, you can come in here, choose your output. On my Discord, when I'm using Discord, I prefer to have everyone that's talking to me come through the headset. My games come through my Realtek and through my gaming system speakers with the bass, the whole 9 yards. So for me in Discord, this personal preference, it's up to you guys. I use my microphone. You could use the mic off your Astro or your headsets or whichever one you've got. Keep it simple. And then your headphones, whatever you want. This is where you're going to do it. If you want to test them out, test your mic. I'm not going to do that because I'm using it now in Streamlabs or Stream Elements. Same thing. You could click on Let's Check It, and it'll light up like Kit from Knight Rider. Old school reference. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go YouTube it. It's worth it. A little nostalgia. Might make myself a little bit old, but you know, hey, I'm the one making the video. Input mode. This is going to be key. Most of the time at default, it does default when you install it to voice active. I recommend leaving it here unless you are in a very loud environment. Push to talk, you can configure the push key on your keyboard, and that makes it so people can't hear you unless you're holding down that key. That is problematic if you're in a first-person shooter or in PvP, or you're in a lot of stuff that requires some movement around and not holding down that key. Yeah, if you're not so much in that environment, if you're just here to talk and you're doing other work and everything, then yeah, sure, use the push to talk. For me, once I got the Yeti and I was able to control my sound and gains and noise gate compressors and all that other stuff, which I can talk about later in a different video, I just went with voice active and dealt with it. Here you can choose your camera. I am not going to test it again, as I said when I tested it last time, even though I'm using a Sony a6000 for my video camera and streaming right now. I do have a Logitech C922X Pro gaming camera that is in here. I usually run with the other one, but I'm not going to mess with that right now. I don't want to make myself go black and white again. You can test the video to see if it works. It's going to put it up here. You're going to see yourself just like you see me in this stream, except it's going to be right there in the preview window. Advanced, the auto codecs. Unless you're super technical, don't worry about any of this stuff. Echo cancellation, that helps with echo and reverbs and everything. They do a pretty good job of that. Automatic gain control, leave that on. Against distance and everything to your microphone, what gets picked up. Same with noise suppression. If you have screaming kids, loud little hums and stuff, this is where they help with that. attenuation here in this specific setting is if I'm playing a game and that game sound, we have a guy that I game with in Destiny named Unit. He turns everything up. So if you're gaming and someone's talking, you can't hear them. This helps control that in Discord. So if it's all in the same box, if you're using everything through your headset or through your speakers, this can, when someone talks, it can reduce the game sound and the other sounds down quite a bit, so you could actually hear that person. I keep mine at 20%. You can do it, play with it, whatever you want. The rest of the stuff here is all by default. I wouldn't change any of it. Can always go learn more if you want. Overlay. I don't do much with this. You can change it. Again, this is where you would maybe change your layouts and loadouts and everything. Yeah. Notifications. Who notifies? What do you get it? Is it popping up all the time, causing just a lot of beep, 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 blowing up on you? Typically what I'll do though, and I'll show you after I'm done going through these settings, how to mute a channel so it doesn't blow you up. This is where you're going to set it. You can time out and everything. Deafen, mutes, the whole 9 yards. I have it all turned on so I can use it, and I do it by Discord. You can change your key bindings to whatever you want. I'm not going to show you mine. Mine are all pretty much default. This is the one I get the most questions about, and this is where we're going to spend a couple minutes. Okay, when you are online, you will show up a lot of people on the right when we go to another window. I don't want to pop out. Yes, I will. Let's go to Mesas. When you are online, as you can see here, Sojourn is playing Star Trek. Sorry, Sojourn. It's just in here. Alpha is playing Destiny. You got Ares playing Destiny. Another guy is playing Tarkov. D2, Greekfall. And then you have some of these guys, you don't know what they're doing, but they show online. That little green dot, they're online, but you don't know what they're doing. That's because they have turned it off. You can't see what they're doing. For me, you can see I'm online, but you don't know what I'm doing. I don't really care for people to know. I want them to know if I'm online so they know I'm available. But a lot of times I don't really care for people to know what game I'm playing or anything else unless I'm streaming. Okay? This is for a couple of reasons, not because I'm a snob, but because if I'm playing a game and all of a sudden I get joined by a bunch of players, it gets a little chaotic. I like the game. I have a fire team in Destiny 2. I have a couple guys I do Exile with. I do World of Warcraft, although I haven't played much World of Warcraft. BFA was a complete letdown. But there's new games coming out, so it's going to be controlled. And again, it comes down to I want to control that flow of who I'm with and what I'm doing. So that's just where it's at. And then going from there. I'm going to move this over again and get back to where I was at. The problem is every time you click on user settings, it takes you straight to that particular feed of your account, and I just don't want to have to deal with that. So anyways, you're back here. You display currently running game as a status message. I do not have that enabled. Again, that's where I just show up online. I don't really care to show. You can do overlays, which means when you're playing Destiny 2, if I turn this on, whoever's talking or whoever's in the voice chat channel that I'm in will have in the top right-hand corner over here on my settings anyways, which is set up here in the overlay. As you see right here, I have it set to all those guys come here. If I turn on the overlays, those guys that are in that chat channel with me, the voice chat channel, not the general channels, not the text channels, but the voice channels will show up in the top left-hand corner for me. That is default for Destiny 2, and for most of the games that works well. There's not a lot of stuff in the left-hand corner, top left-hand corner. If there is, I usually use the UI in the game and move it around so it doesn't mess up. You can control transparency. It just depends. And then for whatever game you're playing, you can turn it off or on. For Star Wars, I have it on. For Diablo 3, I have it on. For Classic, I had it on. I don't know why I have it on. But it's as simple as toggle the overlay and turn it off. Sid Meier's not too bad. Final Fantasy, it's very helpful. I leave it on. Tabletop Simulator, if you don't know what that is, it's in stream. We do a lot of like poker and Monopoly and some other games and everything. It's really great. Dungeons and Dragons we do through Tabletop Simulator. If you guys are interested in D&D, let me know. I do that quite a bit, a couple times a month. Anyways, you can come into here and see all that. You got your activity feed. Do you want to follow a game or unfollow it? I follow these ones. You can add them, remove them. There's a lot in there. Again, the streamer mode I was telling you about, this is what keeps the streamers safe. I have to turn this one off. I usually have it on so you can't see sensitive data or any of that. But the video's now gotten to 20 minutes. I don't want to go much longer, so I'm going to end it there. We'll just leave it as when you're using Discord, be safe, think smart, and if you want those advanced user settings, go in and make it happen. It's really up to you to control your safety and to be the best practices and all that stuff to keep yourself from having data exposed. So that's my recommendations. If you've got questions, let me know. Again, I recommend these are what I run. Don't take my word for it though. Go to the Discord docs, read up on it, make the decisions yourself. These are my opinions and this shouldn't be taken as gospel, but this is just what my experience is based off of 17 years. So make sure that you do your due diligence and take care of the box, take care of your account, and have happy gaming and enjoy yourselves. And if you got questions, let us know. We're always around. Thanks, everybody.